Well, hey guys, hey, what's going on out there this afternoon? It's Brent Abel here, WebTennis.com. Another episode of the Tennis Mindset Project. Typically, we go live 2:30 in the afternoon Pacific Time Zone. Today, this is a pre-record because I am out and about at 2:30 today, and so I still want to get something to you. Just a short little message today, and this has always kind of fascinated me, and I think it might do the same for you as well. Before we get into today's topic, which is grip pressure, I'll bet the lower 40 that, dot, dot, dot. And before we get into that, look, if you're brand new to what I'm doing over here on Web Tennis, I do go live 2 times a day. Once in the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, Pacific Time Zone, and then also in the morning, What's the Right Shot, daily 8 a.m. Pacific Time Zone. What's the Right Shot is I cherry pick a point from either one of my matches or someone else's match. I just take that one point, and right before one of the players is about to play a shot, I pause the video and ask you, the viewer, I say, what do you think's the right shot? And it's really based on two things. Number one, where would you play this shot? Where do you want it to land over there? And then number two, where would you move to next on the court? Because typically, every shot we play in the game has got to have a two-shot mindset, right? Maybe once in a while the guy's fallen down in the court next door, and you know that the next best court position is not that important. All you got to do is just kind of dink it in there. But for all the other 99% of the shot choices we have, we want to think about our next best court position to enhance the shot that we're about to play. So we work on that every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Time Zone. Typically it's live, but once in a while, like today with this, it is a pre-record. So look, grip pressure, right? The way how much pressure that we apply to the handle of our racket. You know, it obviously there's a little bit of grip pressure right at contact. Even if we have a relaxed hand, still the concussion of the ball at contact, yeah, makes a little bit of pressure. But way too often is we just grip way too tight, right? So what I want you to be thinking about is that if you're playing well in the first part of a set, and a lot of times, players say, "God, I played really well until I got to the end of the set, had to serve for it, or I was up a break or whatever." And but whatever the case is, a lot of us play more relaxed in the beginning of a set or the middle part of a set. But once we get down to the end of the set or the end of the match, we get a little tighter, and that obviously starts mentally, but it really manifests itself into our hands, where we get tighter on the racket handle. Grip pressure. And I suppose there's a way that we could measure it if you had some kind of a grip pressure sensor on your racket handle. But I've always been fascinated, and I've got no data to to back up what I'm saying, but I got a pretty good hunch, meaning that I bet the lower 40, that if we could measure it, that grip pressure is a lot less on average until we get to the end of the set or the end of a match. And I just have always felt this, and so what I've always made sure is that, number one, I practice when I'm playing a practice set. I want to make sure when we're getting down to the end of the set that I'm aware of what's going on with grip pressure, especially on the return to serve, or especially on the serve, right? Where you're going through your service motion. Here it is, you're serving for the set at 5-4, and the next thing you know is maybe it'll get a little grippy because you want to win this point so badly, because you can taste the finish line over there, or you can see the finish line, you can taste victory, and so we get a little strong on the grip. And I'll bet you, on average, at the end of sets, whatever that score is that if we could measure it, that we apply more grip pressure to the handle. Serve, ground strokes, overheads, volleys, approach shots, returns to serve, whatever it is. I'll bet you on average that we have more. So here's the message for today, is next time you're out in the court and you're playing a practice set, make sure that you're aware. I think what you ought to do is get yourself a little piece of paper and write down a note that you can leave on the bench, where you just make sure that you can have that reminder there that at the end of a set is to make sure that your grip is relaxed, that you don't have the death grip going, right? Just because, man, I don't want to screw this up, I don't want to choke this, don't want to blow this, right? All those thoughts, all those thoughts create that extra grip pressure. So, guys, hope that has been helpful today. Look, one of the services I offer is I do some one-on-one online coaching. They're 30-minute video coaching sessions. We get on StreamYard, and yeah, I mean, you send me video and we go through it. It could be you want to do some stroke analysis, some stroke technique, or you want to do some match play stuff, right, where you've recorded a match and you're going to send me one game serving, one game returning. And I've got a student, Dan F. from Michigan, great guy, just a hard worker, but we've been working together now for, I don't know, I guess about 8 weeks. And he this past weekend, he came home Sunday after playing a bunch of tennis. He played some league stuff, I think, and a tournament, and he was just really pumped, really, really excited, and wrote me this really long email, which was, I love it. It was great. These are the last 2 sentences of what he wrote, which is, anyway, much longer description than I intended, but just so excited and so anxious to thank you for the road you put me on and the changes you have helped me make. We're just beginning, but it's gratifying to see results so fast. So look, if you want to get some one-on-one coaching, if you're really, really serious about becoming a better player, a lot of it is not so much technique. A lot of it really is just kind of me understanding better what your shot instincts are, what your shot choice instincts are, and what your court positioning instincts are. And once I see them, as opposed to, well, we could tinker a little bit with your forehand, with your topspin forehand, but would that really move the needle in terms of you being able to know how to play the game a little better? Probably not. So the best way to do that, and I'm convinced now that the best way to do is through video rather than just being on the court with you. Being on the court with you is great, that's fine, but man, having the video where you can pause it, you can rewind it, you can go frame by frame, you can look at this, look at that. The two of you looking, or I should say the two of us looking at together is really the way to go. So look, if this is something that would interest you, if you want to find out what this program is all about, go ahead, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And let's spend about 15 or 20 minutes. I'll show you what the program is. You can decide if it's a good fit for you at this time or not. But shoot me that email, brent@webtennis.com, and we'll just figure out a time for about 15 minutes to get together and chat. And again, see if this could work out for you. Guys, that is it for me today. Hope this has been helpful on the grip pressure thing. It's a big deal. It's really a big deal, and the more aware of it you become, I just think that you'll loosen up more at the end of sets and the end of matches, and start to close the door. Start to get more of those wins in those really, really close matches. All right, down below, let me know what's on your mind. Any questions, any comments, any remarks? You can let me know, and or just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com, if you prefer to keep the convo private. Guys, it's time. We got to get out there, help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I will see you again next time.